Today, I want to talk to you about something that touches every aspect of our lives, our relationship with God, and how it can transform us into beacons of hope, love, and compassion. You see, life is full of challenges, isn't it? We face obstacles, disappointments, and sometimes it feels like the world is against us. But I want to remind you of a powerful truth. God is always with us. He never leaves us, never forsakes us. His love is unending, His grace is abundant, and His plans for us are good. In the book of Jeremiah, God says, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Friends, this promise is for you. No matter what you're going through, no matter how tough things seem, God has a plan for your life. He is working behind the scenes, arranging things in your favor. You may not see it now, but trust that His timing is perfect. Let's talk about faith. Faith isn't just believing when things are going well. Faith is trusting God when you don't see a way, when the odds are against you, when everything in you says it's not going to happen. That's the kind of faith that moves mountains. That's the kind of faith that pleases God. When David faced Goliath, he didn't focus on how big the giant was. He focused on how big his God was. He knew that with God on his side, he couldn't lose. And guess what? He didn't. He defeated Goliath with just a sling and a stone. Friends, you may have some giants in your life today. Giants of fear, giants of doubt, giants of addiction or depression. But I want to tell you, just like David, you have what it takes to bring those giants down. Not because of your own strength, but because of the power of God within you. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but I've made mistakes. I've fallen short. How can God use someone like me? Let me tell you something. God isn't looking for perfect people. He's looking for willing people. People who are humble enough to say, "God, I need you. I can't do this on my own." When you come to God with a humble heart, He will lift you up. He will turn your mess into a message, your test into a testimony. Remember the story of the prodigal son? He had wandered far from his father's house, squandered his inheritance, and found himself in a pit of despair. But when he decided to return home, his father saw him from a distance and ran to him with open arms. That's the kind of love our Heavenly Father has for us. No matter how far you've strayed, no matter what you've done, God is always ready to welcome you back with open arms. His love is unconditional. His mercy is new every morning. We are called to be vessels of this love, to reflect God's light in a world that so desperately needs it. How do we do that? By being kind to one another, by showing compassion, by lifting each other up instead of tearing each other down. In a world that often feels divided and hostile, we have the opportunity to be peacemakers, bridge builders, and hope bringers. Mother Teresa once said, "Spread love everywhere you go. Let no one ever come to you without leaving happier." What a beautiful way to live. Imagine if each one of us made it our mission to spread love and kindness in our daily lives. Imagine the impact we could have on our families, our communities, and our world. But it all starts with our relationship with God. When we are rooted in His love, when we spend time in His presence, we are transformed from the inside out. We begin to see ourselves as God sees us, precious, valuable, and capable of great things. And when we see ourselves that way, we can start to see others that way too. So, I want to encourage you today. Whatever you're facing, whatever is weighing on your heart, give it to God. Trust in His goodness, His faithfulness, and His love for you. And remember, you are not alone. We are a community of believers, here to support and encourage one another. Let's stand together in faith and in love, knowing that with God, all things are possible. May you be filled with His peace, strengthened by His grace, and guided by His wisdom. And may you go forth from this place, shining His light wherever you go, spreading His love to all you meet. God bless you all.